the chat, and I will keep my eye out off to the side here. Otherwise, I'd love to welcome you back to Serving Up Summer. Today's theme is all about taking summer on the go. I know I personally love and favor the warmer weather and those long summer days and try to take advantage of it as much as possible and pack in all of that summer fun. And while I do like to cook and experiment in the kitchen, this time of year I like to take a few steps off from that, not spend as much time in the kitchen, maybe thinking of no-cook recipes, things that are a little bit more simple. So today I have some of those recipes in mind for you that are easy to prepare and are perfect to take on the go. So whether you're looking for ideas for longer beach days or picnics where you're really just leisurely enjoying dining outside, or looking for ideas to fuel some summer activities, maybe some longer bike rides or runs if you have some races coming up, or just getting out with the family to do some more challenging hikes. We'll cover some tips today. I'll highlight a few recipes. I will be sure to send out the links to the recipes after class in the coming days so that you have them handy as well. And we are going to start off with our energy trail mix cookies. So yes, we are going to start with dessert first today, but these are actually made with really wholesome ingredients that you can enjoy any time of day. And these are the type of cookie that can really help you fuel up for or refuel from any of those harder summer workouts. So I've already gone ahead and mashed 2 bananas here in the bowl. If possible, it's best to have really ripe bananas. So those ones that have the brown spots on the outside that may be a little too mushy for enjoying just as a snack or on your morning cereal, but you can still make use out of them. That will make it not only easier to mash them for this recipe, but also adds a bit more sweetness. So as they get more ripe, you'll notice that sweetness coming through a bit more, which is perfect for the recipe that we're making today. So from there, I'm going to add in 1.5 cups rolled oats. Pop it right in here, and about 1/2 cup of our crispy rice cereal. Now, rolled oats are a great pantry staple to keep on hand. They'll add some fiber to this recipe, along with some great carbohydrates, which are our primary source of energy when we're doing any sort of physical activity. So definitely great for taking with you for fueling all that summer fun. The crispy rice cereal will add a nice crunchy texture to each bite of the cookies, and it just adds a little bit more fun too. This is a great recipe to get kids involved with, again, using some pantry staples that you might have on hand. All right, once that's blended together a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and pour in about 1/4 cup of natural peanut butter. Now, this recipe does call for natural peanut butter. They do have a little bit more of those oils on top that can blend in really well and help things stick together for the cookies. I also like to recommend them because oftentimes peanuts is the only ingredient in the peanut butter. So you're getting a really great product. Just peanuts will add that protein that we're looking for and some healthy fats as well. We blend that right in. And really, when you have any leftovers of these staples, whether it is the oats or the peanut butter, those are perfect to have on hand for other simple summer recipes too. This time of year, I like to make overnight oats for breakfast, something a little bit more cool and refreshing for summer, opposed to your traditional oatmeal that you might make in those colder mornings for a nice hearty warm dish. Okay, next we'll be adding in 1/2 cup of chopped up dates. So here I've had dates that already have the pits removed. So that will help save you a step. And then you just chop them up finely. They are a little bit sticky, so your hands will get a little dirty. Again, that might be a fun way for the kids to get involved once they can dump some of these into the mixture. These will add a little bit more fiber to the cookies along with natural sweetness. So just blend those right in. And then for our last main ingredients, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. You could also use sunflower seeds or pistachios, another nut that you might like, nut or seed. They add nice texture to this. Like the peanut butter, they'll add in some healthy fats as well. And we'll add a tad more sweetness with 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries. And our last ingredient will be some vanilla. So 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is a really simple recipe, as you can see. Nothing gets better than when it's all mixed together in one bowl. Certainly save yourself the dishes. I had everything pre-measured today just to show you what we were working in here. But again, save yourself those dishes. Just plop it right into the bowl as you measure it out, and you'll be good to go. So now you just want to stir this around a bit to make sure that the peanut butter coats everything well. That's what really helps it stick together and will help the cookies really form into shape. And I'll show a little preview here. Hopefully you can see that really all of the ingredients are blending well together, and you can tell that you'll get a little bit of everything in with each bite, which is really great. So nice texture, nice sweetness, really coming together here. Now, once it's well mixed, what you'll want to do is measure it into about tablespoon size dollops. If you have a cookie scoop, that works well too. Saves you a little bit of the dirty work as well. And put it on a baking sheet that's been prepared with parchment paper. Pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes, and you're good to go. Since our class is a little bit shorter today, I do have some already prepared to show you. Let me just grab those quickly and set this down off to the side. And here we have our finished cookies. So as you can see, nice little bite-sized options. If you want, I left mine, I did use my cookie scoop and left mine in these kind of more ball-shaped options that this can be a quick 1 or 2 bite option to take with you on the go. You can see really the pumpkin seeds, the dates, everything blends in together, so you do get a little bit of everything in each bite. If you want a more traditional cookie shape, just simply flatten them out a bit with a fork or spoon before popping them in the oven, and they'll have a little bit more of that disc shape to enjoy. These don't need to be refrigerated. They make about 24 cookies. You can enjoy them for all that summer fun, take with you on the go. So really simple, perfect combination of carbohydrates, some protein and healthy fats, all things that we'd be looking for to help you either, again, fuel up for or refuel from any summer activities, whether it be a hike, a run, or a longer bike ride. So hopefully you can try this recipe out and enjoy it and all the natural sweetness that comes with it. Now I'm going to clear these last few dishes out of the way and transition over to a recipe that is really ideal for the more relaxing days. So those picnics, those beach days, really enjoying outdoor dining at its finest. Let me just get these out of my way here and shuffle over the other ingredients. All righty. Thank you for your patience as I bring all of these over. Limited kitchen space, we make it work. So as I said, this next recipe is perfect for taking on the go, whether it be a lunch or a dinner that you're enjoying outside. We'll be making rainbow roll-ups. Now, as I often search around for recipes for picnics, for things that are good for beach days, everything often sounds tasty, but then when you put it into practice and imagine balancing things if you're sitting on the ground or in the sand, really putting that into action doesn't really work so well sometimes. So what's great about this recipe is we'll prepare the wrap and then chop them up into essentially 2-bite pieces. So perfect for taking on the go, enjoying a little bit here and there. Maybe you're running around, throwing a Frisbee at the park with your kids, and then come back and finish the rest of the wrap. So that's one great tip about this recipe that we'll be making. What I'm going to start with is taking a whole wheat tortilla on my cutting board here, and I'm going to top that with some hummus. Now you can pick up any flavor hummus. There seems to be more and more to choose from as you check the aisles. I just picked up a traditional hummus here, and I'm going to spread a little bit on the whole wheat tortilla. Now the recipe that I'll send you does make 4 servings, and you can certainly adjust it depending on how many people you're making. Today I'll just be making the one to show you. So I always like to keep in mind what I can do with leftovers if I do have anything, if I'm adjusting any recipes. So for your wraps. You can make things like breakfast burritos, quesadillas, get a little bit creative. You can even chop them up, put a little bit of olive oil and pop them in the oven to make your own tortilla chips as well. And then you're good to go. So you're going to spread some hummus around the wrap, leaving a little bit on the edges so that when we do go ahead and fold it over into the wrap, you have a little bit of room to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. And now in a, medium bowl, we are going to take some leafy greens. I have baby spinach here and our vegetable slaw, which adds really nice color and texture to the wraps. The recipe calls for doing about half of the 11 or 12 ounce container of baby spinach and half the bag of vegetable slaw. So again, thinking leftovers, with any slaw left over, it'd be nice to toss together and add to your salads for a little extra crunch, or even popping some tacos. Taco Tuesday is always a popular one for families. So a nice way to use up some of those leftovers. All right, so that's together. And now we're just going to add some olive oil that's been combined with a little bit of red wine vinegar, and to add a little bit of flavor to this. And what I like about this is the vinegar adds a nice brightness to the recipe without overpowering it. And with keeping our theme of summer on the go in mind, it adds just enough to the recipe without overpowering it and drenching it and making it a little bit soggy. I'm sure we've all had sandwiches or wraps that you've either ordered or taken with you on the go, only to get there at lunchtime and realize that the whole thing has been drenched in the dressing. So this really adds just enough to add that flavor without overdoing it or ruining your sandwich. All right, so now we're just going to put this little bit of mixture right in the middle on top of the hummus. And again, you don't want to overdo it too much. I've made that mistake before in the past, and when you go to roll it, it makes it a little bit impossible. So just enough to coat the hummus, spread it around. And now we will throw on some roasted red peppers. So just plop whatever looks good to you, 2 or 3 strips. If roasted red peppers aren't your thing, you could certainly add something else. Things like cucumbers would add a really nice crunch. Even if you have leftover grilled vegetables, like zucchini or summer squash this time of year, maybe some tomatoes, those would be great. A little bit of onion for a little bit more zip and flavor would be great as well. Otherwise, if you are a fan of roasted red peppers like I am, you can throw on what looks good without filling it up too much. And that will add some additional flavor and color to the wrap. And now we're at the point where you can go ahead and wrap it up. So you just fold over the sides and then tightly roll it into the wrap. Now, this is always a bit messy, and I'm certainly not a professional at making these perfect every time, but kind of the tighter you can roll, the better. And now, as I mentioned, what makes this perfect for taking on the go is cutting it up into those about 2-inch slices so that you can take it with you and just have a few bites here and there. Now, if you are taking it on the go and not eating it right away, I do recommend having some toothpicks handy. Just that way it stays together once you're transporting it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here and show you a little bit of all the great colors. You can see the roasted red pepper popping, the vegetable slaw, all those great colors have combined with the spinach, and it really does look and taste like summer, nice and refreshing. So I'll go ahead and slice up a few other slices here. And then, like I said, having this ready to go, throw in your cooler to take to the park or to the beach. That can be a nice, easy way to enjoy a meal without getting too messy or too complicated. Perfect. Pull this back a little so you can see, again, all the bright colors, and just that little bit of flavor that the red wine vinegar adds really is a nice touch there, just dressing it up just enough to have that flavor added. I think I did see a few chats come through, so let me check on those now and see if I can help answer any questions that may have come up. So question coming through for any ideas for a gluten-free diet and less carbs. Yes, so thinking through, I'm going to start with the tortillas. There are other options. You could pick up gluten-free tortillas if you're looking for still to have a sandwich type option to go along with it. If you're looking for something to cut back on the carbs altogether with this, like I said, I like to think of all the ways to have leftovers and how to use them up creatively. You could turn this whole wrap into a little salad on its own. For there, you might want to add a little bit more protein to it just to help you feel more satisfied, especially if it is a main meal like a lunch or dinner. So where you won't have the wrap and a little bit of fiber and extra, hardiness to it. Maybe use the leafy greens. Top that slaw. I would still recommend mixing it together, like I said, so that it is just lightly dressed and not overdoing it. And then throw on your favorite protein. So whether it would be something like grilled chicken, you could do tuna, fish, beans and lentils if you're looking to keep it vegetarian. For that, especially if you're taking it with you to the beach on a hot summer day or out to a picnic, I would definitely recommend making sure that you have your cooler well stocked with ice, especially if you are using any of those other prepared proteins. I hope that helps answer that question, and let me know if you have any other questions on that. For something a little bit more desserty or snacky to take on the go, you could still use some of these ingredients that we'd have going for the cookies and use it in a trail mix instead. So grabbing some of your favorite seeds or nuts, tossing out just a little bit of dried cranberries in there for sweetness. That won't add too much carbohydrates. And even, toss in some of your favorite fruit if you want as well for a little bit of a touch of sweetness without being too carb heavy on that. So I'll keep my eye on the chat. Let me know if that helps answer or give a little bit of some new ideas for both going a little bit of gluten-free and cutting back on carbohydrates for both of these type of recipes. Okay, thanks so far. That is all of the questions that have come through so far. Just a quick recap of the recipes we made. We had the energy trail mix cookies, really something simple to keep in mind for fueling those summer workouts. If you are out there doing some harder training or getting out there to do those longer hikes, be sure to hydrate as well. I did pull out one of my go-tos, our Nature's Promise unsweetened flavored waters. This one's mango peach that I actually just tried for the first time yesterday after a long day and a hard workout, and it was very refreshing. So make sure you have some beverages lined up as well to go along with either your snack to refuel or your nice, fresh, light lunch that you might be taking with you to the picnic or to the beach. I will keep my eye out in case you have any other questions. If anybody else has any other comments or go-to recipes you like to enjoy in the summer, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Otherwise, in case you are typing away, just a reminder, I will send out a class recap email with these recipes so that you have them handy to fuel all of your summer fun. And I hope that you'll join us again next month in July for our Serving Up summer class. We'll be sharing some recipe ideas and ways to mix it up on the grill so we can think of other things outside of those burgers and hot dogs, things you might be getting a little bit of sick of at that point, just to help mix it up and get some healthy inspiration. Okay, that looks like all of the questions so far today. If you have any questions later on, please don't hesitate to reach out in email. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you get out there and enjoy this summer weather. Well, we have a little bit of sunshine today. I know some more rain coming later. Hopefully in July when we're back, we'll have that nice, hot summer sunny days we're looking for. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon.